What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We're now on episode 28 of the walkthrough. Finally moving forward into our next underground region, which is going to be Nokron. So now we took out Radon. All we got to do is kind of work our way from Fort Height West, and we're just going to get down into this crater. Now, I know a lot of people have been confused. I've read online, read certain comments about how to actually get in here. So all you really got to do, guys, is just follow your way around. Then eventually, you'll see, where you can kind of keep going lower, and keep going lower, and you'll see it drop. So, as you work your way down, you want to drop, and don't go straight, you want to go to the left. That'll be your last drop. Jump on off. And we're starting to make it here. But do keep in mind, if you die before we get to the side of Grace, you will have that run back every single time. So then roll off here. Go to the far edge. We'll go and grab some loot. Gold Rune 5. Like I mentioned, it's going to be a lot of upgrade mats down here for summons and for weapons. It's also going to be a lot of runes, so we can start getting those back up. And there's, just kind of certain consumables and crafting stuff that go with the underground region. A lot of celestial dew, later smithing stones, just a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, there's some good stuff. I mean, we're gonna get summons, we're gonna get weapons. I mean, you name it. We were gonna get some new wet blades for occult scaling and arcane scaling, things for blood loss, and just to actually put arcane scaling on basic weapons, but blood loss and poison and stuff like that for arcane. So a lot going on down here. So when we first get here, guys, what we're gonna do is drop to this. You want to run, jump over here to the right. Just slowly follow this around. And it'll get you up high. Make sure to jump that gap. This is going to be a different kind of torch, more of a cool lighting torch, but it also does frostbite. So you're going to need some intelligence to use it, obviously. But, served as a torch, served as a weapon. Multi-functions, really nice. But yeah, we're going to get a lot of unique stuff. So, new enemy types, as you're seeing. These guys, they can be a little annoying. All in all, not too bad to take care of. So when you get up to him, you can kind of work your way back. And there's also really unique crafting materials, you're going to get in the underground. Things you haven't run into yet. And I did mention that as far as crafting goes, certain crafting stuff you can only get from certain, some stuff's all over the world. Some stuff's in your colder regions, like on tops of the giants to craft, like frostbite type stuff, and then there's crafting items unique to the underground. So depending on what you want to craft, you might have to farm them from different regions. So it's good just to take note of what you get from what region, so you know how to go, get your hands on more if need be. Yeah, we still got this guy. This is probably pretty good down here. I should be able to get some more 3s to actually get this upgraded more. You like silver tear husk. That's, newer crafting ingredient, nascent butterflies. Those are like a really rare crafting ingredient, but you find them in the underground. And when we get to Altus, you'll start finding them here and there. Now, our next side of Grace is through that door, so just remember, if you die before you get there, you have the whole run back from Fort Height West, getting down into the crater, and then, proceeding to this again. But yeah, you'll notice we're starting to get better smithing stones. We'll be getting 5s and 6s. A few 7s, not many. But yeah. So just get to this edge. Drop. And you know how it is, guys. Anytime you get to new areas, you drop, always turn around. There's most likely going to be something there, you know what I mean? Alright. And these guys don't look like much, but I will say they can stack on some damage. Because he used frostbite arrows, so the damage can pile up pretty quickly. Just much faster than you may realize. Let me get the glove words. Let's go over here and get more tear husk. Hey, that wasn't very nice, buddy. Alright, now this leads us up to our next side of grace. And if you guys are worried about it, just remember, you can kind of avoid those guys, run forward, get the side of grace so you know you're safe. And you're not actually, gonna put yourself at risk. So now we're here. Rest, get your heals back, reset the world state, and, get ready. So, in the underground regions, you are going to get a lot of bell bearings for ghosts, glowwork. So we'll be able to buy infinite amounts of ghost glowwork. All, go up to 8, so it'll be like 1 through 6. And the very, very last bell bearing for ghost glowwork will be in the Helix tree. All the other ones we're going to get in the underground. So this is going to be your first. There you go. Ghost pickers. Yeah, ghost glowwork pickers bell bearing 1. So now you have infinite 1s and 2s of your ghost glowworks. We're in these guys now. So as far as navigating this area, we're going to get more larval tiers down here. Quite a few. Really nice. And quite a few in our next one too. But yes, as far as navigating this place, guys, you just kind of want to, we came out from there, you kind of want to go to your left, and we're just going to, start doing a big circle here. So back here, we'll be able to get a somber 4. In this episode alone, I would like to say we're going to get at least 3 more larval tiers for, respecking. We should still have like 2 or 3 at this point as well, I would like to think, for the ones we picked up, which will be under key items, and go down here. Yeah, so we have 3. We should at least have 5. As I mentioned, we're going to just, find stuff we want to use, respec, but I am wanting to teach everybody how to build the strength faith, build properly with weapons and upgrades and incantations and stuff like that to help newer players. So once I feel like you guys gotta get grip on that, I'll probably, I don't know, because I came in this with the prisoners that started off at 14 and 14 dex. By switching to strength faith, I've lost quite a bit of points. So I'm, eventually gonna have to go back to that. But for the time being, yeah, I'll be showing you guys how to properly set up an extremely strong build for yourself. But yeah, I don't know what I want to actually end with. All I know is I want to do something different than I usually do. Really kind of wanting to do like a little bit of faith, maybe dex arcane, but we're going to see how it goes, see what we find. Every build is viable, and I have mentioned a million times at this point, but just in case people aren't following along, because this walkthrough is set up for everybody to kind of do their own build. I'm going to recommend a couple, but no matter which build you do, we will be, covering all of them and how to properly put a build together. So the purpose of this walkthrough is to take a level 1 character up to level 150 at least, which is the recommended level for the DLC, and just teach you guys about weapon scaling and what's best for which build. So it doesn't matter what build you use, you know what I mean? We're covering them all, so I liked that because I do feel like it'll give everybody freedom to do whatever they want instead of me saying, hey, this is the build you need to do this, and, because it's a game, we want to have fun with it, right? So, regardless, don't worry about it, I will have your build covered. Now, so we pretty much got everything here, but we do need to run back, like that's where we came down at, so we want to go back over here to the left, be able to grab just like crafting stuff and glove words, just clear out the guys. You always want to fully clear everything, every area. And this weapon's just a phenomenal weapon. especially if you're just trying to find something nice to use until you get a really strong permanent weapon for your build. It's a very nice weapon to buy time. Like I said, it's got innate blood loss. We can change the affinities. Like right now, I'm doing fire and blood loss. But then every time I swing, like let's let him damage us. Come on, buddy. It hurt me. Alright. Now every time I swing my weapon, I get a little bit of health every single swing. And that does add up as you're typically going through clearing mobs. How many threes do we have? We have 3, I do believe. 3 more 3s, then we'll be able to get to our... Yeah, because we're... Alright, so as far as the weapon goes, we're using... Because we already used so many of our stones. I'm at +8. That's it, just +8. Everyone else is around +16 about now. So once I get through my 3s, I should have enough 4s and 5s to keep upgrading. So enough 1s for 2 weapons, enough 2s for another weapon. I've already gotten a few upgrades of the 3 tiers, so I just need 3 more stones there. Then I have enough 4s to fully go through that tier. I have enough 5s to fully go through that tier. And enough 6s to at least get 1 more upgrade. But yeah, in the underground, you're going to find more 6s. So I do believe after this and, a few hours into the Altus Plateau, we should have a weapon pretty close to fully upgraded. I mean, I'm thinking we will at least be like +18 to 20. Have +25 on regular weapons, so that's going to be nice. So now this leads you back, and you'll see a boss door in front of you. But before we get on up there, just going to take our time, make sure we're not missing anything. So I told you we'd start running into these guys. She was a boss fighting Kaled, but she's just pretty much an elite enemy of the underground area. Alright, so we're going to just work our way down, go to the right, and just kind of do a full circle here. So we're going to stick around the right edge, like I said, kind of circle around, but we will have to go back over here. And, well, since this is right here, let's just run straight through, grab your larval tears. So I take that back. We should have 5 already. So we had 3, we picked up 2 more, so that's 5. I'm actually about to get another one, which will be 6. No, actually, we're probably about to have 7 larval tears after we do this first underground part. Like I said, this is going to be nokron. And then when we do a later underground area, probably the next 1 or 2 that we get to, we'll get more. So I'd say you probably get about 80 to 90% of your larval tears from the underground. So it's a lot of respecking we could do as we run into stuff we might want to try out. Grab your ghost glow for a 3. If your first time doing the underground, you're really going to like this place. It's really different from anything else. And there's just so many good items down here. So many important items down here. Turn around, grab your rune arc. So before you go in here, take off all your weapons. Trust me on this. This is a mimic tier. We'll get this as a summons later. However, how mimic works is it mimics everything you have. So if you go in here with your regular weapons, he's going to have whatever you have, right? So if you go in here with the +10 Moonveil Katana, he's going to have that, and it can be like a real fight for yourself. But if you go in here with nothing, he's going to summon up with whatever you had equipped. So now that he's actually summoned, we can go back and put on whatever weapons we want to use. So first. And he's not doing any damage right now, you'll see here in a second. So don't worry about how many times he hits you. It's not really going to matter, as it's, it's just not going to kill you. Oops. Because he's not doing, like, any damage at all. It takes him a really long time. You see? All that. Look at your health. He's unarmed. From there, let's go put our shield back on. We have a few more options now too, but I do like this one. I just like the shape of it, and it does get fairly good guard boost. But now we have our stuff back. And he has one heal. Just to keep that in mind, he can get one heal off. I want to know why he doesn't get staggered. It's so great. It's crazy. Yeah, I always wanted to like that incantation. It just doesn't do any damage whatsoever. Makes it real easy. And you can actually, if you want to try to learn parries, just equip like a level 1 weapon, no upgrades that you want to learn to parry, such as a dagger, great sword, or anything like that. You're kind of struggling to learn to parry that way. It's really good, just excellent parry practice, but you don't have to worry about him harming you. You know what I mean? Because it's unupgraded. So it's also good for that. Got another larval tier there. I think that puts us up to 6. Let's go and rest. Alright. So now we're going to move forward. There's a few paths here that's going to take you to do a few different things. But first, since we started Ronnie's quest, we're going to do a side section. They'll get going on her quest. Get another Somber 5 right here. And right across there, that is actually Mogwin's Palace, which it's kind of hard to tell, and you're like, I don't remember that from Mogwin's Palace. Well, up top there, that's actually the boss fight arena. It's pretty cool how it all wraps around, because if you notice, we're looking straight at it, right? And it's right here. So that's what you're seeing, is, his boss arena. It's pretty cool how it all kind of just wraps back around together, you know what I mean? Little things like that you could really appreciate. So, like I said, firstly, we'll be doing what we need to do for Ronnie's quest. And this is very similar to what we had done before. I wonder if we should just, before we do Ronnie's quest, we're only 18 minutes in. Go ahead, light over our pillars, clear this area in full, knock that. Yeah, let's just go ahead and knock this out. So we have this whole section done. And there's kind of a lot of stuff to get here. We're just going to clear all the enemies out as we go. And keep in mind, we do have, so 6 pillars to light. We do have decent upgraded weapons at this point. I would still save your upgrades for when we go for our main weapon, but... So we take this bridge down. This will just get you some lore. And we're just pretty much going to do the same thing here. Take this around in a full circle to make sure we're not missing any items and light up our pillars. Lord of Blood, your eminence, I beg you, grant me a seat at the table of your dynasty. Long live the Mogwin dynasty, long live the Mogwin dynasty. So like I said, that's Mogwin's Palace. It's, sometimes the ghosts in the game give you a little bit of lore. So to keep going around lighting pillars, you're going to kind of, don't go here, but you're going to kind of go up here. Light some on the left side, then you go to the right side, then you go up here to the left, light some more, and some straight back. But before we do anything else, we're actually able to come to this lower section, grab a talisman, and just, some loose loot. This is actually something you wouldn't think to do up and down here. In fact, I did miss this my first playthrough, to be completely honest. Maybe even my second, too, as I don't really do guides. I'm making a guide, so I can't look at other guides, but even my first playthrough, I struggled for a few hundred hours just because I wanted to find things myself, you know what I mean? So I was able to find all the secrets on my own, which was nice. But it took me longer, than it probably should have. But that's just because of the way I wanted to do it. So, yeah, I'm not even embarrassed to say I did miss this a few times. It's pretty well hidden stuff here. Just want to go through, kind of circle around, work it like you usually would, make sure you're not missing anything. Eventually, we'll be going straight and dropping down for a talisman, and obviously some other items as well. Mainly, just loose loot, whether it be consumables or crafting ingredients or runes, things of that nature. So let's go here. You're trying to get on this wall. It's actually a lot of times easier said than done. Just be careful. Straight drop. Nothing that way. So proceed this way. Roll off here. So this is one of the areas, and it's going to have, a few different drop downs with, you slowly work your way down, grabbing whatever's lying around. To me, it makes most sense to do this area now because it's easy to overlook and you end up missing the stuff later. And you can't get all the talismans in a single playthrough, but we'll get, 90% of them. I mean, for sure. There's just some, like the Magic Scorpion Talisman, you have to kind of betray Ronnie to get, and we're not going to do that, so. Try to jump on this pillar so, you don't have to worry about fall damage. Let me go back over here. Celestial Dew. Come here. Get Smithing 2, and then there should be the Talisman, which is right here. Clarifying Horn Talisman +1, or Horn Charm +1, and that's the one for Frostbite, or no, Sleep and Madness. Okay, so it's an upgrade of the one we already got. Now you're looking over. I mentioned we'll go to underground areas and we'll come back from different areas. So if you notice, like that's the second underground region we hit. We did one here. That was the second one under Limgrave. But now we're just reaching a different part. We're over here now. We're at the above part, and that's looking down at the lower part, which we had already done. Kind of just let you know where you are, what you done, what you haven't done. It all just kind of connects. You know what I mean? I don't believe there's anything else here for us. No, because if we work our way down, that is just going to bring us, back down to the lower underground region, which we've already cleared, right? So we're not worried about that. So let's just jump back over to Mimic here. Just an easy spot to kind of pick up from. I didn't mention this earlier, but we are able to go buy Radahn's armor from the Round Table Hold. So as you take out demigods and humanoid bosses, they don't always have to be demigods. Any humanoid bosses throughout the game, you'll be able to have access to more and more armors you can buy from the Round Table Hold, in addition to the armors you're going to find out in the world. And in my opinion, Radahn's set's just a beautiful, beautiful set. I really like it a lot. But so same thing. We'll go ahead and take out the guys as we go. Get done. These guys are obviously just as annoying as they always have been. Stack on quite a bit of damage. Alright, so we got the Lord there. We already took the lower path. So this time, we're just going to stick to the same ways and run straight back. Light our second pillar. And keep in mind, we're kind of like in the back edge here, so we will still have stuff in the center. And we'll get to it, I like doing this route because, we're lighting pillars along the way. We're getting loot. I thought there was something on the other side of this, but maybe not. Okay. May actually be getting it confused with another tree, as a lot of them look very similar. should be a few coming for us at this point. Man, they do pack on a lot of damage. Probably about to die. Maybe not. Kukri. I have another gentleman here. We could ram you too, asshole. How you like that? That gets you his little armor set. God, that damn charge attack takes forever to get off sometimes. Take them down. And kind of just work right back towards the center, make sure we're not missing anything. I know there's like a rune or some kind of one or two little loot items. Might need one to get up here. There we go. Drop down. Smithing 5. Like I said, we're gonna get plenty of smithing stones and stuff like that. So that brings us back towards the start, and right on one of these little rocks here is something else. I know it's really close to here. So, when we did the second underground area, I told you there's going to be a bigger version of these guys. It's actually a female that sings with like a baby skull in her hand, and she can buff their damage and their health, and that's what we're hearing right now. Get to her. Firstly, still gonna go back to about the part we were. I mean, we were circling around, guys, and we got to about right on the other side of this. But I wanted to go ahead and get, you know, all the loot from the center, as we might not have another chance to grab that, you know, if we don't remember. Him out. Where's she at? Yeah, that could do a lot of damage. It's gonna keep magic on the ground. Shucks. Trying to slap you. Alright, so with her down, you don't have to worry about her buff, nothing no more. And we're going to work our way back towards here. So this is actually going to lead you up the story for our aqueduct. And we're not doing that yet. But if you kind of work your way back here and get uphill over here. I think we did have some. No, that's just a jellyfish. So, like I mentioned, that's more of an indicator something's near. They're less of an enemy, just more of like a, hey, there's something going on over here, check this out, you know what I mean? So, more of an indicator, less of an enemy. Now there is, I know there's like one item up here, maybe two, but I'm pretty sure it's just one. It's gonna be over here. that model necklace +1. And we're going to get the other model necklace from the 4 belfries when we wrap that up. We're just kind of slowly looking, make sure we're not missing any other loot. Not, you know, that's actually a story for Aqueduct over there. Not doing that yet. And when we light all the pillars, that's, you know, the horned remains. It's going to take us to actually a remembrance boss version of, you know, the same guy from last time. Just this one's, you know, actually a remembrance boss. And last one's kind of like a precursor. Let you know what's coming type deal, you know. Alright. So now with that, we've lit all these. We're going to just go to our right. But, oh, globe work, probably a decent one. Make sure you get that. So we could just run right here and get to it, but there's going to be a side of grace, which is going to take us to an optional area that we need for Ronnie's quest. And that's, you know, what I had planned to do first. But I figure if we just clear all this out after we do the optional area, we don't have to run and do all this later. It's all going to be ready and done for us, and we can just jump straight to the boss and fight them then. So you get your loot. So, obviously to the right, that's where we came down. So if you were to come over here, and you're going to see this little trail right behind where she's singing. You'll be able to get right over here. Grab the side of grace, and this is going to be nokron over here. So what you do is you just kind of run, jump down. A lot of really good items over there, but since we have, you know, 80% of 70% of the pillars lit, let's go ahead and light the rest of them and just get ready for this boss fight. So after we do, you know, nokron, we can come back here and just have to worry about the boss and nothing else. You're not very nice. You're not very nice at all, lady. Trying to get my buff off. Thank you. Alright, so we lit that one. Then we kind of go straight back this way. And we'll have 2 more pillars, but there's also a lot of just loose stuff around. Let's grab that. But yeah, after you pick up your crafting stuff, just stick to the left. It's not there. You're going to see like a little pond. Not even pond, just like a little puddle. That's going to be your Somber 5. Trina's Lily. Here's another one. I wouldn't worry about fighting that red wolf. Nothing comes from it, and he's just obnoxious enemy. He really is. Not worth our time. If you want to do it, you can by all means. Like I said, it's not really worth your time, as you're not going to get any memory stone from him this time or anything good at all. Just kind of stick to the left edge going up, and you'll see your last pillar back here. There's going to be some rats and more of these ladies, and a Asher Board for bow build. Yet another Asher Board for a build style that we'll probably never use. Alright, light your last pillar. So it should say, yeah, powers or remains gathered, or powers gather. Okay, guys. Starting to annoy. We get both of them. Alright. Now we have them to deal with. Okay. Now we got all that out the way. Got all this cleared. I do apologize, guys. I did not realize my dogs were barking, so I muted it. I didn't realize that it was muted. So please forgive me. But yeah, you guys see what we did here. We got the rest of our pillars lit. Now there's gonna be a little side section over here we're gonna lead off to. But before we do that, I'm just doing last little quick run, make sure we're not, missing any loose loot. I don't even remember how long it's been muted. I know it hasn't been more than like 5 minutes. But you obviously seen we picked up our support for bow builds, which we're not really going to use. At least, most people aren't going to use that. That's a real rare build type. We got all of our pillars lit, we got Somber 5, and we have one more path. A little side path, but before we did it, I just wanted to make sure we had all the loose loot here. So this is going to lead to like a little utility item, which is that little baby skull she was holding that lets you throw magic out. You might not ever use it, but it's a walkthrough, so we're going to get everything, and you can always get creative with stuff like that, But please, guys, do forgive me about, us not having sound there for a few seconds. I forgot to back up the save, so typically I would just redo the episode, but it's just not a luxury I have, unfortunately. So once again, I'm sorry, but you guys seen everything I was doing, so at least, you know what I mean, you're not missing anything. You're just missing me talk about the stuff you're visually seeing me do, But yeah, just bear with me. I apologize. I'll try to make sure I'm better about that. But as I've already done this walkthrough once and had to redo it, not only from saves getting messed up towards the end of my walkthrough, that's the main reason I'm redoing this walkthrough. As the very last episode, the save got screwed up. That's the main reason. But also, there's also some episodes where like my dogs were barking in the background. I just felt like we could do something, better. But we're already like 30 hours in, so I don't have the save backed up, and can't redo it a whole another 30 hours again over that. So y'all, just bear with me here. Ancestral Infant's Head. So like I said, utility item, uses FP to spray spirit vapor, and that's kind of what they're using there. Now, I do not believe that there's actually a way up to get back up, but we have lit all the pillars for the boss, so we got that good to go, and we did grab the Side of Grace that lines us up to where we need to get on into Nokron. So after we get everything worthwhile here, we can just jump back over to the Ancestral Wood Side of Grace. That's what that is. Alright. How far off are we? Yeah, I'm already 50,000 level. We're at level 90. This is phenomenal. It really is. 7,500 runes ought to do her. If not, it's going to be extraordinarily close. Damn. We're like, what, a couple hundred runes short. Let's just go ahead. Make sure we got it. I am looking forward to get some new stuff for us. So we're at 25. Trying to think what we want to do here. Should we start working up our strength or our faith? I wonder if we should just get our faith to 30 first. Start working our strength. I guess for now, yeah, we're gonna go one into strength. We might just do 1 for 1 for time being, and that's why I bumped out. So just to go over everything, guys, if I were to take this off, obviously I wouldn't be able to use that as I am. Where's our dex? 5 points short without the talisman. Wait, if I'm at 15 dex, that talisman. Oh yeah, with the talisman on, we do reach it. So. That's our true stats without talisman. That's what I'm looking at. But, health's done for most of the game. Mind and endurance are done for most of the game. We'll have to go back to that later. All we gotta do is stick in our damage stats, right? So we're 26 strength, 25 faith. So we'll just be, working on 2 stats, strength and faith. And once those get, up to like 40, we'll pull 10 points out of each one just to finish off our health. endurance, and mind, and then for the rest of the game, all we have to worry about is our 2 damage stats. That's how I typically do it. But yeah, for now, we're just going to keep working these up and try to get higher levels on our damage stats. But I mean, we're not bad off, you know, we're at 25 of each. But yeah, as soon as we start getting to 40 of each damage stat, that's how you know you're going to be able to reach most requirements for spells and weapons, start getting decent scaling. Then after that, it's pretty much just about getting better and better damage up your scaling. So we're not, you know, we're not the farthest away from it. It'll come quicker than you think. But yeah, like I said, we do want that talisman gone sooner rather than later. The thing of it is like we need the talisman to use this weapon. But this weapon right here, Vike's War Spear, although he could use it for the whole game, there's gonna be better options. So like we're gonna go for the Blasphemous Blade. If I take this off, we have 15 dex, you need 22 strength and like 24 faith. So we reach the requirements to use the weapon. So we're not going to be worried about reaching the stats for this, and that's probably going to be when we take this off. So, you know, we're all good there. But it is worth talking about, as in a couple episodes, we'll probably be going for the main weapon for this build. Now, did we ever get enough 3s yet? I don't think we did. No, we're still 3 short. We'll probably be getting them soon. Let's just go run back here, get the Celestial Dew. So that's how you absolve your sins. I can't believe we get so many of these. It's like, how many times do they expect you to be slapping NPCs and needing to be forgiven for it? So you're going to see these guys. Now she's going to start coming for you. But typically what will happen, guys, is she's going to try to chase you around and end up just killing herself. She should be coming towards the edge. Oh, we can't jump back up. Typically, you'll just run around here, get the stuff at the top, and then when you come back down, you know, she kind of just walks off the edge. They don't look like much. You're like, oh, a little naked NPC, but as you see, they got a good amount of health, and they could really stack on damage. Not this one, but the next one has a mace, and for whatever reason, it just stacks on damage, like, big time. Look at that. Yeah, that's the one that stacks on the damage, as you see, or you're almost dead. But it's not gonna matter, because we're about to fuck her up. No, we're good. Yeah, we're good. You got that critical. It's okay. It's not a bad run back. Not to mention, guys, we already got all the stuff, and you know, we were really thoroughly going through this area, but since we got all the stuff, we don't have to waste so much time. You know, we can just kind of run right for where we need to be. But yeah, they don't look like much, but like I said, they really can stack on some damage. I'm gonna try to do this in the way that you know, the first one kills herself. But the first one, to be honest, just has a crossbow. The second one, that's where damage is coming from. So like I said, once she spawns, she's like trying to get to you, so she'll walk close to the edge. So typically, where you go up here, and you're kind of running around, jump across, you'll just see 2,000 runes come out of nowhere. She's really just trying to walk around, get this stuff. Typically, like 99% of the time, she just walks off the edge, and there she goes. So as you see, you just got 2,400 runes, as we had 0 runes, because we haven't picked our runes back up. So that's the best way to do it. Just ignore it, go for your items, before you know it, the first one's dead. Damn. Alright, friends, lasted a minute. Okay. What the fuck? There you go. Okay, so you don't really, take them seriously, but you really should. Because that second one, as I stated, does stack on a lot of surprising damage. Now, you can take these other, so the path of progression is straight ahead, but we can take our little side paths, and I think really just crafting shit. Yeah, like your silver tiered husk right there. There's nothing that way. Then just kind of jump back across where we were. Go around this side to the left, and right down there, that's where we're headed. That's where this first section's gonna end. Oh, it's gonna be your nascent butterflies. All right, but yeah, that's like the goal is just to get down to that building and open up a chest. That's gonna end Ronnie's quest. Not completely, just this portion. But yeah, so there's some good stuff in here for arcane builds. Like I said, we're gonna get a wet knife that lets you add occult scaling, which pretty much just means arcane scaling to basic weapons. It's also gonna let you add affinities of poison and blood loss now too. So that's really, really nice. I wish it, I wish they threw rot in there since rot scales with arcane, but so that's the black wet blade. That's the second dude, occult type stuff. Hopefully you save the stone sword key because this is probably the best stone sword key in the game. Alright, so this is where we get the infamous and extremely controversial mimic here. Now, for walkthrough perspective, it's probably going to be the summons we keep on, and I suggest you, if you're a newer player, use this summons. It's going to help you a lot. It mimics you, so if you have a shit build, because a lot of people are like, oh, mimic tier just makes the game easy. Like, mimic tier is only good if your build's good. It's, a copy of you. So if anyone's bitching about how mimic tier isn't good, that means you have a shit build. No offense. That's just, it's a copy of yourself. But with a proper build, and I'm going to show you guys how to put one together, it can be a devastating summon. It's never going to guarantee you a win. I know people like to talk, oh, if you beat the game with Mimic Tier, you might as well get. No, Mimic Tier doesn't guarantee you a win. It's just a good summons. This game was made around people using summons. Have you guys played Dark Souls? You don't remember how slow and sluggish the bosses were? Look at the bosses' movements in this game. You really think these bosses weren't designed around people using summons? Like, give me a break. So don't worry about what anyone says. If you need the extra help, use it. They're a phenomenal distraction. And Mimic Tier could be a game changer if you're struggling. It's not going to guarantee you a win, but it will help you out. You actually have, your first real summons that can get you some damage. And honestly, all the best summons, guys, come from people with, a lot of points in mind, right? So if you don't have a lot of points in mind, this is one summon that's really good as Mimic Tier. Instead of pulling from your mana, it pulls from your health. So it's going to take half your health to summon up Mimic, then you just heal to get your health back. So everybody's got to meet the requirements to use it, and it's really nice. Just, make sure you're putting your upgrades into it. But since it's a legendary incantation, or legendary summons, it's going to, be very expensive to upgrade. Now these balls, every time you kill these balls for the very first time, they're going to give you a larval tier. With that being said, as soon as you get down here, we also have two of those swordstress maidens. So just run straight out the door, because that ball will squish you and do a lot of damage and kill you really quick. But, lining up with the door, kind of choke pointing it so it can't hurt you so much. And sometimes if you're lucky, you push it back, kind of run them over. But yeah, it'll kill them for you sometimes, though. And I also mentioned to you guys that we would have the Noxflow and hammer. We got the Noxflow sword from Kaylee, and I was like, you can get the other weapon too in the underground. Well, we just picked that up. There's the hammer that they're using. They kind of like, it's not really on a rope. Whoa, like, why isn't my shield working? It's not really like on a rope. It's kind of like on a cord, so it throws, the hammer out really far with the Astrovore. So giving you a really good reach. But yeah, so the first time you kill a big ball, every single time you're going to get that larval tier. And there's a lot of them in the underground, to be completely honest. So it's just nice. Then we go over here, get our Side of Grace. We'll go ahead and rest. If those enemies respawn, it doesn't matter to us. Because first off, they are in that room. You know what I mean? So now, this is how Mimic Tier works. Watch my mana. Watch my health. Outside Mimic, you heal, you have a summons, and it did not take anything away from your mana. So it's just really good, man. This is how much the walkthrough is about, teaching you guys everything I know to give you a better chance of getting through the game without struggling as much. You're gonna, I mean, just going through this, you guys gonna learn a lot of cool stuff. Trying to have 2,000 hours in this game, I love it. Especially doing the walkthroughs, I put a lot of hours in. But there's a lot of cool tricks I can show you guys, and I'm hoping it's gonna, you know, add value and help you guys out. So obviously, a lot of my strategies for hard bosses for first-time players are gonna be revolved around using summons, you know, setting up your summons properly and stuff like that. It's just a very viable strategy and always will be. So we got the mimic tiers down. They're not named mimic tiers, but over there are the tier husks or whatever. You know, the one had a great sword. But this guy here, he's gonna be different, guys. He's gonna be a troll. So all the little mimics that are spawning, he's obviously the biggest threat. He's got a lot more health than usual. So do keep that in mind. Work them like you always do. Whoa, that was definitely 2 charged heavies, asshole. And a jumping attack. Okay. That was badass. There you go. He will no longer be bothering us. Now, I did mention last episode, guys, if you did not talk to Ronnie and did not begin her quest line, you're going to get up here to this chest we're about to open. And it's pretty much saying, hey, this is not for you. You know what I mean? This item's not for you. But we're picking this up for her. This belongs to her. So now we talk to her, start her quest. We have access to this. That's the Finger Slayer Blade. That's going to be for Ronnie. But we also got another great Ghost Clover, allowing you to upgrade your special summons all the way up to +10 and get them fully upgraded. Now, we're still missing like some Ghost Clover 8s, maybe 7s and 8s at this time. But we have most of them. Just keep in mind, it's probably going to take like 50,000 runes to bring one up to +10. You don't need a +10 Mimic or anything like that right now. But we're probably getting to the point in the game where +5, +6, you know, and just pretty much anytime you have, let's say it's 100,000 level, and you got 120,000 runes, get your level, and then, you know, use that other 20,000 to go ahead and, you know, put another upgrade. So you don't have to do an upgrade back to back to back and use a bunch of runes. Just anytime you have extra runes, just try to remember to, you know, go put a level in it. He'll eventually get there. Mimic's okay at first, but he's not going to do much damage, and he's not going to have much health. Now, I always recommend using summons for distractions, but with Mimic, since he can do damage, there's really hard bosses like Millennium Moog, and it's really good to use him for damage there. As if we both put on some Blood Boss stuff, and we're both, you know, hitting a boss with Blood Boss, it's just going to make life much easier. However, from here, take this transporter. I was trying to just wrap up the first part of Ronnie's quest this episode, but as we're almost out of time, we only have like 6 minutes. I would like to try to go ahead and take out this boss here, so we could have this first underground region after Radon knocked on out. So it's just like that other stag we fought, but this one can heal itself and be much harder. Typically, I like to wait until we have a stronger weapon, at least a weapon with much more upgrades into it, to get as much damage as possible. Cause it's kind of like a DPS race, you know, where you want to really stack on as much damage as you can in the smallest amount of time. Because you got to put this guy down before he keeps healing himself. And I don't know, it's not like an NPC invasion where he's just going to heal himself once. Like, he's going to heal himself multiple times. So you got to try to really put him down before he's able to do so. I never put on Flame Grant Me Strength. I should have. Like I said, very much the same moveset. If you could get tags on him, it'd be really nice. Easier said than done. looks like we're doing good, but he'll probably heal himself here soon. That's kind of what you want to watch out for. Alright, go ahead and heal up. Just a little bit of mana back to use. And rush him down. I don't want him to heal himself, but he's probably gonna. You're gonna see these other little animals around the vicinity. They're pretty much gonna steal their life. Fucker. Yeah, that's what makes it so hard. And we're almost out of time. There he goes again. We're almost out of time. Fucker. Heal himself again. We're dead. It's okay. If we can't put him out, you know, we'll do it first thing next episode. Like I said, as I mentioned, I've got to get as much damage as possible on this thing. I mean, if I would have kept the Ent Dex build, dual wielding katanas, it would have been much better. But because me and Mimic both dual wielding blood loss weapons would have been the worst idea, you know what I mean? Let's go and try this again. Man, we almost had him too. I hope he doesn't heal. So I'm almost out of time on this episode, so we're really gonna try to put him down as fast as possible. And there he goes. I really slept on that black flame incantation. That thing does put off a really good amount of damage. But from there, I don't think they decided grace to rest. So we're just gonna jump on over to the round table hold with that first area cleared up. We're gonna wrap up here in next episode. The first thing we're gonna do is talk about this boss remembrance. Just kind of rest on up and close on out. So next episode, we're gonna go talk to boss remembrance. Talk to Ronnie, give her that. Just send us down to do Carrier Study Hall Part 2. Flip this upside down. Go get a new talisman. Then we'll get started on a new underground region that's going to give us Somber 7s, really badass weapons, you name it. So y'all stay tuned, and we will be back here shortly.